Okay, so it's June 5th, 2017, and this is all about Twin Peaks Season 3, Episode 5. I've got quite a bit to say, so thankfully I made some notes about what happened in the episode. Some things were good, some things were not so good. Some things seem superfluous, but I'm starting to think that Twin Peaks doesn't really care about how I feel about the nature of certain scenes going on longer than they ought to. I'm going to start off talking about Doug versus Cooper. Not literally a fight, but Cooper was our way into the world in seasons 1 and 2, and so far we've got Doug, who is a very regressed form of Cooper, walking about his very dull life, and therein lies the thing. I don't think that Doug is a particularly interesting character, and even if he is, as I suspect, a manufactured element of the evil bot, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to find him interesting to watch as a viewer. And the startling thought occurred to me as I was watching him go through his hijinks and his slapstick humour. What if we don't get the real Cooper back? What if our way into this new version of Twin Peaks is through a very childlike, innocent, perhaps even Zen-like character that probably mirrors to an extent Lynch's own transcendental meditation practices and ideology. So that there is the rub. I do think that there is some merit to some of the jokes if you're watching Twin Peaks with other people. I was at the Three Compasses pub in Dalston, London, and it was nice to sit around other people and watch the show unfold, because I think when I was watching it alone, I'm prone to actually picking it apart in ways that aren't really truly beneficial to entertainment value. But yeah, that's what I think about that. Truman's wife walking into his office, or rather Deputy Hawk's office, because that's where he is hiding from his wife, is not necessarily the most positive way of introducing yet another female character that is subservient to the male in this genre. I mean, granted, it happened a lot with Nadine in seasons 1 and 2, especially season 1, where she was basically haranguing her husband, Big Ed, but she was counterbalanced with other stronger characters such as Norma, and I could go on, but essentially I don't think that she is really anything other than comic relief, and there's quite a bit of comic relief in this season so far. Other commentators have said so, but I do feel that some of the hijinks and wacky stuff that we got in season 2, which wasn't really the fault of Lynch, is something that I think ultimately, even though he's gone on record to say that he wasn't really happy about, he's actually indulging in now himself regarding quite a few characters who aren't really, they're idiot savants, but none of them have really stuck with me emotionally. So yeah, I can't really excuse what happened in season 2, because it seems to be happening again in season 3 via the person who says he didn't really have anything to do with that. But there's much to be said about season 3 that is positive, so don't get me wrong, I'm not completely hating. Let's see. The people who want Doug dead are in some way connected to the head teacher's dead cheating wife, which is a mouthful to say, but I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do, but there was a head teacher who was basically put in jail for the murder of, I've forgotten her name now, but basically a body was found in her bed. Her head was there, but there was like a body, and that body, we've now found out through a very funny coroner, has actually it's imbibed a ring, and that ring was given to Doug's wife, Janie E. So I think that the people that tried to kill Doug, i.e. those people who turned up outside his house and had like they put a bomb underneath his car, and some carjackers were unfortunately at the mercy of that. The people who actually put that there are in some way connected to the head teacher's dead ex-wife, which in itself, saying that aloud, it just shows you how wacky this show has become, and also not particularly easy to follow, but then again it is Twin Peaks. I'm enjoying the mystery. What Twin Peaks thinks it is a strange combination of the idiocy and, to be honest, plots that wouldn't necessarily go anywhere in season 2, and it also thinks of itself in the same way that we, the audience, have chosen to remember it, i.e. the supernatural elements. There's quite a bit of supernatural elements in every episode now, to a point where it's not that they're losing their charm completely, but now that I know that they're going to happen every other scene, it kind of takes away the surprise element of them being there. And who knows, maybe the show will justify itself. I said in earlier conversations with you guys, or very one-way diatribes, that essentially I'm not truly at ease with the fact that as a viewer I'm constantly waiting for it to make sense of itself. It probably won't. So I have to kind of get used to that, to be honest. But yeah, Twin Peaks has fallen in love with an aspect of itself that we've always loved, and is giving that to us on a regular basis, perhaps maybe too much. Dr. Jacoby, I actually titled this Dr. Jacoby's New Patient. Now, even though it is played for laughs, and it's probably my favourite scene in the new season so far, Jacoby seems to be well, adrift mentally is the best way to put it, but there is a sense to him in that he is trying to in some way share his distrust and anger about authority, and his need to tell other people about it, to maybe even cure them of their own uncleanliness, i.e. the shit that we're all apparently in, and you can only get out of it using a spade. He's doing that to kind of almost put America on the couch, I think. He doesn't have any more patience. Whatever's happened to him has made him disregard that as a viable source of true livelihood or true self-esteem. He is in fact better off, it seems in his mind, treating the rest of the world as a collective patient, talking about liberty, talking about the lies that the government doesn't want you to actually understand, the problems that they have regarding the environment, all sorts of additives and whatnot in the water. He's using this radio show to try and do something about that, which I think it's got merit. It's definitely got viewers. Very strange viewership between Nadine, who we all remember her story, and what's happened to Jerry, smoking something strange in the forest. So yeah, there's quite a bit to say about this new episode, in that it's shooting off in all directions as per normal. Probably the most frustrating element of the episode will probably be Cooper not necessarily moving his plot along. There are vague moments of him remembering that he's an agent and then going back to being, well, shuffled along by so many helpful secondary characters who we don't know the names of. What else is there to say? I think that's probably it for now. I'm looking forward to the next episode, maybe perhaps moving us along. We need Cooper back for us to be able to move to certain areas of the plot. There's tons of characters all waiting to be investigated and talked to by someone who will be moving the plot along for us. Sheriff Truman isn't aware of what's going on because there doesn't really seem to be any kind of instigating element of plot movement in Twin Peaks. There's a lot of corruption going on that only Dale Cooper, in my mind, is actually equipped to handle at this point. So hopefully he will get his mind back, because if Doug is our way into the world for the entirety of these 18 episodes, and I think that they'll be rioting. Goodbye for now. See you next week.